Hey guys, this is Morni. Welcome to the third episode of Unlearn and Reframe with Morni. So, as most of you probably know, I'm currently in France. I came here to celebrate my fifth anniversary with my boyfriend. And earlier this week, I posted on my Instagram asking people to send us questions asking about our relationship and long distance. And we received quite a few messages through Instagram and also WhatsApp. So I compiled a list of questions that we're going to answer. So, as you can tell, this episode will feature a guest, and that's my boyfriend. So let's dive into this episode, and you guys can hear his voice and get to know him a little bit and get to know us as a couple. So here we go. So, a little bit about us and our relationship before I continue. We've been in a long distance relationship for 5 years, me living in Canada and him in France. But we do meet about twice a year, and we spend 3 to 4 weeks together. So we go through 6 months, 6 to 8 months without seeing each other sometimes. So it's kind of hard. But we do make it work with Skype and WhatsApp calls every single day. So yeah, that's it. And I'm going to get him to introduce himself in French because a lot of you have requested to hear him speak in French and hear his accent. So here he is.
Hello, je m'appelle Raj, j'ai 26 ans, j'habite en France, pas très loin de Paris, et je suis très heureux et excité de faire partie de cet épisode.
Okay, so let me translate that for you. He said, "Hello, my name is Raj. I'm 26 years old. I live in France, close to Paris, and I'm very excited to be a part of this episode." For the remainder of this episode, he is going to be speaking in English. I just wanted to get him comfortable and get him to speak in his own language before we get started. So let's go to question number 1. When and how did you start your relationship? Basically, our parents are family friends. So, me and my brother came to France in 2012 just to visit my cousins. And while we went to parties and stuff, I met Raj there. And he was introduced to us as my dad's friend's son. And so we became friends, but it took some time. Me and Krishan, my brother, only spent about a week and a half spending Christmas in France. So we didn't really get to know each other at that time. We didn't really keep in touch after I came back from Canada. Came back to Canada. And then I returned to France in 2015 for one of my cousin's weddings. And we were both part of the bridal party. I was a bridesmaid and Raj was a groomsman. And we got to talking, and I spent 1 month in France that time. So ever since that wedding in 2015, we just kept meeting up with each other, with and without friends, and we really got to know each other. And the day I left France to come to Canada is when we kind of decided that maybe we were kind of interested in each other and we should try like a long distance and see how it goes. So yeah, we've been together since August 2015 until now, August 2020. So yes, long distance relationships really do work, kids. So question number 2 is, how do you make time for each other in your busy schedules? I'm going to get Raj to answer this question.
So the main issue is the time difference between France and Canada. There's 6 hour difference. So we have a routine where she's calling me in the morning while I'm getting ready to go to work, And sometimes when I'm on break, I will call her. Also, we manage to talk when I'm getting back home because it will be the morning for her. So while she's getting ready, I will talk to her. And on the weekend, we have more time because obviously both of us are off work. So we Skype for longer time. We watch movies on Netflix sometimes. So that's how we manage our time.
Okay, so the next question is, have you faced any trust issues because of long distance relationships? Obviously, when we first started the relationship, we were unsure of how it was going to play out, if we were even going to, stay together, if long distance was possible, because neither of us had been in an LDR before. But I think as time went on, I started to see how much he cared about me, and I believed that the way that I looked at him, respected him, and wanted to be in a relationship with him, I never looked at guys in any other way. Like, when I came back to Canada and there were guys that messaged me and whatever, I never flirted back. And obviously, like, attraction and whatever is normal. You look at someone else and you're like, oh, okay, he's like good looking. But I never felt like, oh, I could cheat on my boyfriend for this guy. I would never think like that because I was too in love with Rajh. So in my head, it was like, I'm 100% sure he feels the same way about me because like I'm confident in myself and how he views me. So no, honestly, I never had any trust issues because of the distance. I just believed that he was always going to be loyal to me, and he is. He's just that type of person. So no, I haven't.
And for me, I didn't have any trust issue. Maybe at the beginning, because you're starting your relationship, so you wonder if she's having the same feeling and she's trusting you as much as you trusting her. So maybe you have some doubts at the beginning, but after talking more and more on Skype, WhatsApp, getting to know that person more every day, you realize that with the right person, you don't have to have any trust issue.
Okay, next question. What is one piece of advice you would tell someone thinking about getting into a long distance relationship? One major piece of advice that I would give is only get into the long distance relationship if you have a strong connection. Say you meet someone when you travel or online, and you have a little crush on them and you think like, oh, this could maybe potentially go somewhere. And it's just like a tiny inkling of like, possibly. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Down the line, one of you is not going to be interested as much as the other, and it's just going to come crashing down. But if you spend a short period of time, be it a day or a month, for us it was a month, and your connection is super intense and you want to get to know each other and like you can't stop talking to each other, it's literally like you're in your own bubble, like that type of intense, get into a long distance relationship if you're really feeling each other, because that intensity will take you a really long way, and that is what's going to make you a successful couple. That's like honestly my biggest piece of advice for anyone getting into a long distance relationship. Okay, so the next question is, how do you stay secure? I am so affected when my boyfriend looks at other girls. Good question. I have never been one to have jealousy issues. I mean, I've had my fair share of insecurities, but it's never been about guys, like I am secure in myself, I am confident in myself, and I think that it is very natural to look at other people. Like, obviously, you're going to find other people attractive as well. It's not like you start dating someone and they are the one and only, attractive person in this world for you. Now everyone else is cut off. Like, I've been super boy crazy all my life, right? And people never thought that I would settle down with one person. My mom never even thought I'd settle down with one guy, right? I got into a relationship. We had an intense physical connection and emotional connection, and that all ties in together. And I'm very confident in us. So even when I look at another guy, I'm dead honest in front of Raj. I'll be like, oh yeah, that guy's like pretty fine, you know? Or Raj will look at a girl and be like, oh, she's kind of cute. And it doesn't bother us because we know we're not going to like leave each other and go like fuck other people, you know? It's like we're so secure in ourselves and in each other, and we believe in each other that we don't have that, you know, insecurity that they're checking out someone else. They're going to leave me. I know he won't because of the deep emotional connection that we share. So I think for you, if you say that it affects you when your boyfriend looks at other girls, you just kind of need to work on that insecurity. Ask yourself why it bothers you and talk to him about it. And do you feel secure in your relationship? Because if you did, you wouldn't let it bother you when your boyfriend just glances at another girl. It's completely different when your boyfriend picks up his phone and starts flirting or sexting another girl. That's completely different. But just glancing at someone, looking at someone because they're attractive does not mean they're going to cheat on you, you know? And me and Raj completely believe that it's normal to find other people attractive, but that by no means they're going to leave you or he's going to leave me for another girl. You know, you just need to have that confidence.
So the next question is, what is your least favorite part of long distance relationship? For me, I will say not seeing my girlfriend whenever I want, because sometimes when you think about like some funny stuff, for an example, or you going out, you want your girlfriend to be with you, but obviously because of long distance relationship you can't. So this is like the not funny part, if I can say like this, on this type of relationship. And what about you, Morni?
For me, my least favorite part is pretty much the same as Raj's. Well, I'm a very touchy person, especially with someone that I'm very close to. So the fact that I don't have him beside me all the time and whenever I want, just going over and touching him and hugging him and whatever, like that sucks. So that's definitely my least favorite part. And seeing like so many couples around me, it's so easy for them to like hold hands or touch or whatever. And it's just like, y'all are lucky bitches, you know, because it's like, I wish, but I can't. I have to wait another 6 months, you know. So I think that's what I don't like about long distance relationships. The next question is, what is your most favorite part of long distance relationships? So my most favorite part is obviously the opposite of my least favorite part, which is the reunion. So when I get to the airport and I get to like jump in his arms, that's literally my favorite part. Like just being together, spending that quality time together, and always being able to hold up my hand and he's right there. And for us, like, people always ask, like, why aren't you guys going out more? Like, we're like that old couple that'll sit inside and watch Netflix at home and whatnot. And it's like, we don't care, because at the end of the day, it's like we've waited 6 to 8 months to spend this quality time together. So we don't really care about going out and like enjoying the fine dining life. Like, we don't give a shit about that, you know. It's just spending that time together. So that's definitely my most favorite part. What about you?
So me, it's not going to be original. I will say pretty much the same thing as Morni. Going back to a normal life for a short time, having fun together, watch movies and other normal things that like normal couple will do pretty much every day. And also the excitement to seeing each other after a long time and spending a good time together.
Okay, the next question is for Raj. Do you ever regret getting into a long distance relationship?
No, I don't regret, because she's showing me the attention that I need, and also by her actions. She's proving to me that I didn't make any mistake by being into a relationship with her. And also, the long distance relationship is not forever. It's going to be like this for a certain time, and then after, obviously, we're gonna end up being together.
That was so cute. Okay, so the next question is, does each other's past bother you? No. So with us, we had a month to get to know each other. And in that month, if you guys follow my blog, you already know that I released an article about this, the top 10 things to discuss with a potential partner. So I actually did do that shit, you know, like I already knew what I wanted to ask him in order to get to know him properly and to see if he would be a match for me, right? So one of the questions was about his past, if he had any serious girlfriends before and like what happened, if he was open to talking about it. And he was. So we both put our past on the table. We both told each other, we're very upfront about it. And like his past doesn't bother me because your past is something that you grow from. And so what happened in his previous relationship helped him to grow and be the person that he is today. So thank you to his ex-girlfriend because the Raj that I have now has grown from that experience with his ex. So take it as that. It's just lessons to learn from. Someone's past shouldn't bother you. The fact that they were with a girlfriend or boyfriend or whoever before you shouldn't bother you because the fact that they're with you and looking forward to a future with you says something. So just leave the past in the past. Know about it, but just leave it in the past because that shouldn't affect the current relationship you have now because that's in the present. So yeah, our past has never bothered each other. Okay, so the next question is, what has been the biggest obstacle for you and how did you get through it? We don't really get into fights, to be honest. Like, obviously we've had arguments here and there when, because of the time difference, and say he's out for like 10 hours and then he comes back and only gets to spend like 30 minutes or an hour with me and I get upset or whatever. But we've never really had any like major fights, even when we live together for like 3 weeks to a month. Like, we never really get into fights. But I'd say the biggest obstacle is definitely when one of us gets into a bad mood, either from like work or family issues and whatever. And we're both very hot-headed. We get angry very easily, by the way. So yeah, if one of us is in a bad mood and the other person isn't really there in person to kind of calm them down and talk them through it, it all has to be over the phone or on Skype. So kind of sucks. It is a really big obstacle for us to not be able to be there for each other, or we have to hop onto an 8-hour flight and Corona doesn't help, right? So it's definitely a big obstacle, but how we get through it is that being with the other person calms us down. We know what to say to each other. At this point, we've been together for so long that we pick up on cues. We know how to calm each other down. It does take more time because it would be different if we were right beside each other, but we've learned to kind of, just learn more about each other and know how to cool the other person down, so that is that. The next question is, what is one goal for you as a couple? I'm gonna let Raj take this away.
So one goal as a couple for us will be finally moving together. We're getting more serious about this topic, and we are looking more for like an apartment, saving on the side money to
finally move in together.
Yes. I lost my words.
Okay, so the next question is, what is your favorite quality about each other? I'm going to let Raj answer this because I want to know what he thinks.
My favorite quality about her is that she's open-minded. I think it's a good quality because we talk about everything without like any doubt and like, oh, what if like she thinks I'm weird. So
I do think you're weird though.
I didn't know about it.
I'm joking.
But yeah, so I think it makes us growing and knowing each other in a better way.
Cute. For me, my favorite quality about Raj is that he has such a good heart. Not only is he nice to his parents and nice to me, he's also nice to other people that he doesn't even know. He has such a big heart, and he'll do anything for his family and friends and people we don't even know. Example, one time we were going to his house and we were waiting for the elevator, and there was this old lady who had like 3 bags, and we realized the elevator wasn't working. So he literally just went out of his way and he's like, oh, which floor do you live on? I'll help you. I'll bring these bags up. And he literally carried all her bags for her up to her floor. And like seeing stuff like that is just like, oh, he has such a big heart. So it's definitely my favorite thing about him, because not only is he respectful to the immediate people in his life, he's very respectful to people he doesn't even know. All right, next question is, what do you look forward to the most this year? What we're both looking forward to this year, building off of what Rajh said earlier in this episode, is that we're planning to move in together, and I'm starting to look into moving into Paris very soon. So hopefully early next year I'll be living in France with Rajh. So that's definitely something that we're both looking forward to this year, because it's been so long, and it'll be super nice to finally live together, you know, and not worry about the distance. But no worries, I'll be back in Canada very soon. It's just gonna be a temporary thing, just until we're both ready to move on to, you know, like the adult stuff, like settling in and, you know, get settled down, I mean. So yeah, that's something that we're both looking forward to. Okay, so we're finally at the last question. Dun dun dun. The big one. The one that all the aunties are asking. When will you guys get married? Oh my god, I'm so tired of this fucking question. Everyone fucking asks. Announcement. I think if you guys follow my blog and my Instagram, you probably already know this, but we got engaged. So it happened while I was in France, and we both came to the decision to do it together. And what we did was we both went out and got matching ring tattoos on our ring finger. So it is our version of an engagement. I am not traditional by any means, so I did not want a traditional ring with the diamond and that shit. I told him that from the beginning of our relationship, like, that is not for me, and I'm all about equality. So that meant I wanted us to equally represent an engagement. So both of us got a matching tattoo, and we both basically got rings. I'm gonna get Rajh to answer the when do you guys plan on getting married question.
To reply to this question, I will say that we will get married when we are both financially stable, and I think it will be around 2-3 years, hopefully, if we are financially okay.
I hope that ceases all the marriage questions, because we seem to be getting that a lot, and getting engaged, I guess, doesn't help, but at least it's something to kind of solidify our relationship and where we're headed. But yeah, that is the end of our episode. I didn't choose too many questions, just because we didn't really have time to even do this. We had to find proper time, and knowing me, I procrastinated until the last day. So yeah, this is my last day in France, and I'm recording this. So yeah, I didn't get to answer a lot of other questions. I'm sorry about that, but I hope you guys got to know me and Rajh a little bit more, and a little bit about our relationship. And I hope Rajh enjoyed this episode and got to know a little bit more about podcasting. What do you think?
It's an interesting stuff to do. I was a little bit nervous, so sorry guys if you didn't understand me sometimes, but I'll be better for a next episode, hopefully.
Oh, you want to be cast in another episode with me?
That was just for the sentence.
I randomly thought about doing this podcast when I was still in Canada and I was about to get on my flight. I was like, maybe I should do a podcast with Rajh. Like, that would be pretty interesting for people to kind of get to know him, because I'm very active on social media and he isn't. So I thought it'd be a good way for you guys to kind of get to know him a little. So I proposed the idea to him and he didn't want to do it at first, but I kind of convinced him because, you know, I always get my way. And I mean, he didn't do too bad. He was nervous, like he said, and he was talking about his accent and if you guys would understand, but he's like so much better than how he was in 2015 and it's a constant improvement. Thank you for that, Rajh. And I'm leaving France today, so by the time this podcast episode is out, I'll be back in Canada and everyone will know about our engagement and everything. So yeah, just wanted to let you guys know what's up. Thank you everyone for listening this far into this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And until next time, this is Morni and
Rajh
signing out from Paris, France. And I'll record the next episode in my small rural city of Stouffville. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Be nice.
Bye. I can't do it again. Bye.
Bye, everyone.